Hey guys, super excited to share with you how to win a listing every time, whether it's a seller considering going FISBO or a seller considering hiring another realtor. Here is the presentation, the data, the steps, the process to help you win that listing each and every time. So, hey, let's dig right in. Okay, so step number one is as you're scheduling that listing appointment, you need to fill out the pre-listing questionnaire. There's a lot of great questions in there to make sure you get them answered. You make sure you know what you're going into, and you understand the home, you understand the client, how proud of their home they are, and it gives you a lot of data and information. At the very least, you need to get the price from the seller that they feel is fair, that their gut tells them this is what it's worth, that their appraisal tells them it's worth, whatever. They're going to push back. You're going to ask them the question, hey, so as I prepare, and I'm going to bring you data, I'm going to bring you statistics, I'm going to bring you information as a professional to help you establish the highest price we can for the house. But just curious, what does your gut tell you? What does your gut tell you your house is worth? What do you think is fair? Well, I don't know. That's why I'm hiring you, Howie. That's why I'm bringing you in. And I understand that. And I'm going to bring you data. And this is a collaborative approach. There is no right or wrong answer. I'm just trying to get an idea. What does your gut tell you? Throw me a number. What do you think? Get that number from them. You need that number. Okay. So make sure you're getting a number from them, what their gut is, what it feels like. That's crucially important. Number one, questionnaire. Get that filled out. You'll know what you're going into as far as a presentation. You know what type of home, updates, square foot, everything that's on there are great questions. Okay. Number one. Looking at my notes. Number two, when you meet with them, there's some data you got to prepare for, but I just want to talk about when you meet with them, you start the presentation with coming up with an asking price. We believe is a collaborative partnership approach between us, the professional, and you, the seller, based upon what the data is telling us. And we're going to go over the data together. We're going to go over the market conditions together. We're going to go over our marketing strategies and what we do to get you top dollar. But it's after we go through all of that information, you, Mr. and Mrs. Seller, and I, the professional, are going to come up with what we feel is the absolute best price for your home. There's not a real estate agent. A lot of them do it this way. A lot of your one-man bands do it this way. They'll come in and say, this is the number. And there's no way possible they know what the market is going to bring for your home. We don't know what the market is going to bring for your home. We just know that we're the best at getting top dollar for homes because of our process, because of our predictive marketing, because of our specialist brokerage, because of our marketing systems and campaign like our Coming Soon. We know we're the best at getting top dollar, but there's no way anyone can tell you what that number is. If they are coming to you and saying this is the number, they're a one-man band and they're trying to just tell you what you needed to do versus a collaborative approach. So it's crucially important that that's your communication with them when you're doing that. Okay. First thing you're going to do, you're going to go to the MLS. And now that you have all the information on the home, you're going to go into the MLS. You're going to type in school district and price range. So let's say the home that they're saying, hey, I think my house is worth 300. You're going to type in, let me say they're Lowell School District. You're going to type in Lowell School District. You're going to type in homes 300 to 400. Okay. That's what we're doing today in a seller's market. If it was a buyer's market, we would type in 300, we type in 200 to 300. We'd go the other way, right? We're going to look at homes that are less to help them get their home priced right. Because why? Because it's a buyer's market. Because it's a seller's market, we're going above asking price. And you're looking for 3 to 4 maximum, not a ton, 3 to 4 homes that validate a much higher price, if possible, than what they told you their price is. You're looking for a similar style home. You're looking for a ranch versus a ranch, a two-story versus a two-story, a bi-level versus a bi-level in that school district that is anywhere above whatever price point that they gave you. Those are the comps that you're going to pull. Those are the comps that are going to validate when you come in to say, hey, here's what the market's telling us with our marketing and strategies and what we're doing. This is what we think market is telling us we can get you to validate that. Now, sometimes you can't find that, but that's very rare, that you should be able to find comparables that are priced above the seller's belief, the seller's gut of what their price is. Okay. And then what you're going to do is you're going to take those listings and you're going to highlight, hey, here's how many square feet, here's how many bedrooms and bath, here's when it's sold for, the date, and that type of thing. Okay. So that's step number one. You go to the MLS, you get 3 or 4 of those. Step number 2, you're going to run a report from either the MLS, GRAR, or you're going to run a report from Fast Stats that shows in their area, whether it's their county, whether it's their school district, whether whatever, if you use Fast Stats, you can use area. What has the average sales price done in that area? Has it gone up 8%, 12%, 16%, 21%, whatever that, like you're going to pull it out to show them, hey, in the last 12 months, the average sales price in your area has gone up X amount. And you're going to use that in a manner of, if one of your comps that sold for $3.25, $25,000 more than what their gut price was, sold 6 months ago, and the annual appreciation rate of the average sales price went up 10%, you have the right to say, well, then you need to add 5% to that sales price to increase it even more, right? So you're coming up with that strategy to help them help you say to them, I'm looking out for your best interest. I'm working on getting you the highest price. I'm validating that highest price with statistics and data and information that is available to all of us. Okay. So make sure you print the number 1 MLS, 3 or 4 comps, number 2 Fast Stats and or the GRAR report showing the percentage of the increase. Okay. The next thing you're going to print is your actives. Okay. So you're going to do the same thing in Lowell School District between 300 and 400,000. How many homes are currently for sale? Meaning if I'm a buyer, I'm in that price range, I want to search Lowell. What is my competition? How does that stack up? And that should show you like there's 1 home or 2 houses. Like there's not going to be any real inventory, at least right now, for sale, which again tells the seller, hey, there's nothing out there. This is a great time with the great company, the right marketing, to push the envelope on your price and get you top dollar because the data validates it and there's no competition. What a seller needs to understand in a buyer's market is the value of their home, and this is part of your presentation, the value of their home is 30 to 40% what the sold comparables say, but it's 60 to 70% weighted towards what's available. And if there's no competition, you can push the envelope even more on that. Okay. Backing up. So that's the actives and that's your presentation. The presentation of the solds are just showing them what the difference is and how it compares to their home and how's the data that shows them it's worth that. Okay. Number 3, you're going to do a PMA, a predictive market analysis. We pay for, as a company, a program through Focused First. It helps you to show the seller, hey, based upon trends, here's what's expected to happen in the next 90 days with your type of a product, your type of a home, your type of a price range, your type of area, like your product. Here's what's happening with your product in the marketplace. And it's a great product. It's got charts and graphs and colors, and it just really makes you look professional to help them understand what's going on with it. So to do a PMA, it's very simple. You log back into the MLS, you type actives all the way down to canceled, all of your options. You go back 2 years, you type in school district and price range, and you hit enter. And it's probably going to give you more than you need. What you want is anywhere from 75 to 150 results. So if you got more than that, then you got to start narrowing it down. Then you got to start narrowing down ranches versus 2 stories. You got to narrow it down to the style of house. If you still got too many, you got to go to bedrooms or square foot. Like get that down to about 75 to 150 results when you're completed, and then export that from the MLS into a CSV form. Okay. Then I'm not going to go into how to load it. I'll teach that, but then you go to the computer at the desk. You upload that. You email that report to yourself, or save it to your downloads, whatever, and then email it to yourself. And then go to your email with the computer at the front desk. Log into Focus First, and then upload it to. I'll create that some other time. So anyway, that'll be a great piece for you when you go to present the PMA. Okay. And again, a lot of this, you got to know your client, right? So if some of your clients are engineering nerds and they like the numbers, then spend a little bit more time on the numbers. If they're more of the CEO, director of a company, they just, hey, give me the bottom line, give them the bottom line, right? So read your company, read your customer. But generally speaking, you want to present like we've been talking. It's the best way to do it, to show you're the professional, okay? So to present the PMA, page 1 will be the odds of selling. And what you're saying here is, hey, look, this is the odds of selling, average basically last 12 months, 2022 and 2021. And as you can see, because it's a seller's market, there's 60, 70, 80, 90% chance you're going to sell your house, obviously. Page 2 will be time to sell. It shows them that, hey, on average, your product, remember your price range area, top type of home, your product is selling and closing, the PMA does a closing, within 67 days. Okay? So you can say to them, that means homes are on average are selling in 37 days because it takes about 30 days to close them. Okay. So they like to know that. How long is this going to take? The third page is the buying time. What months are things selling, and how many of my type of product sold in the last 12 to 24 months, what months they sold, and that type of thing. Okay. The final page is very simple. Hey, based upon the trends of the data we entered in, this program, the predictive market analysis, is telling us that the market still favors the seller heavily, okay? Or it favors it on average. If it favors the seller, your response is, that tells us, guys, that we can, again, push the envelope on your price. We're still in a seller's market. It favors the sellers. The chart shows that. And it looks forward 90 days, and people love to talk about that. Okay. And then obviously every time you present something, any questions on that. Okay. That's the next thing. The 1, 2, 3, the fourth thing that you're going to present to them is, all right, let's talk about our strategies, our marketing, our company, what that looks like should you choose to hire us, and what we do to do a great job of getting you top dollar, headache and hassle free. So then haul out the seller's book and go through it with them page by page. Page 1, obviously BP Realty is the #1 specialist brokerage in West Michigan. Okay. We are specialized in getting, we specialize in getting top dollar for homes. That's just what we do. Okay. So that's who we are. That's what we do. Page 1. Hey, page 1, guys, is just a little story about the owner of our company and why he decided to build out a specialist brokerage. How when he bought his first house, he knew real estate was a great investment. It was a great thing to do, but he didn't enjoy the process. He didn't enjoy the experience, and decided to build a company where people would be excited to go tell friends and family about their experience. So it's a little story about the owner of our company and what our company is about. Page 2, the best word picture to give you about what is a specialist brokerage is to share with you that, hey, all of your real estate agents and companies in Michigan are not a specialist. We're actually the only specialist model in West Michigan. I love Michigan. But the easiest way to explain to you is your real estate agent today that's not part of a specialist brokerage is a one-man band. That means they're doing everything. They're doing the marketing. They're installing their signs. They're figuring out their website. They're figuring out their marketing. They're everything. They're making music like the one-man band, but they're not very efficient. They're kind of a jack of all trades, master of none, if that makes sense. What we've created for you is a symphony. Every team member has a role and they're a specialist in that role. We have full-time people that are spending a ton of time and a ton of energy on best practices for marketing. They're understanding where the trends are going, how to get your home in front of the proper people, how to use Google ads and Facebook ads and artificial intelligence, and how to do that well. And that's all they're focused on. They're focused on one thing. Okay. We have other people that are focused on the concierge, like responding and nurturing and following up and taking care of the details of the concierge department. We have director of administrative help, right? We have people that are taking care of all the details on transaction credit, so that I can do one thing. I can focus on you and your needs and helping you to get top dollar. So best way to explain it is your one-man band. Okay. Another analogy I use to help them is your solo real estate agent today is like a doctor's office, but there is no receptionist. There is no nurse. There's just a doctor. The doctor is the receptionist. The doctor is the nurse, and the doctor is the doctor. And people understand that. Okay. And so there's another analogy for you to use. So just helping them understand the difference. Okay. Next page talks about we specialize in getting top dollar. Okay. Number one, we do not, the lighting's bad in here. We do not practice dual agency. And it's crucially important that you understand that. You ask them, have you heard of dual agency? Okay. And most of them say no. A few will say yes. And the presentation to them looks like this. Let me explain to you dual agency. Okay. When you choose to sell your home, you're going to hire a realtor, whether it's us or someone else. And when you do, that real estate agent is going to sign documents with you that they say, hey, I owe my fiduciary to you. I'm a seller's agent. I'm always going to look out for your best interest. I'm going to strive hard to get you top dollar. You agree, you sign the paperwork, and you move forward. That agent begins to put it on the MLS, puts a sign out. Hey, someone drives by the house, sees the sign, calls the sign, and talks to an agent. Now, if they're talking to our agents, they're not talking to them yet. They're talking to our concierge department. But if they're talking to a solo agent like everyone else is, they're picking up the phone. And that potential buyer says, well, hey, I'm interested. Can you show me the house? Sure, I can show you the house. They take them to the house. The buyer goes, I really like the house. Can I make an offer with you? You sure can. I can run an offer with you. Now, we're talking about a $400,000 house, okay? So that agent who is the seller's agent writes an offer and tells that buyer, hey, because I'm a seller's agent, I just want to make you aware of I'm now acting on your behalf too. I'm a dual agent. I'm representing you, the buyer, and I'm representing the seller. They then write the offer on behalf of the buyer in the best interest of the buyer, because as a dual agent, they need to look out for the best interest of the buyer and the seller. And then they bring you the offer and they say, hey, yeah, I know I signed documents that I'm going to represent you, but I'm actually going to represent both parties. I'm going to be a dual agent, but don't worry. I'll be fair. I'll be open. I'll be honest. Everything will be open. That there's no big deal, nothing to worry about in that manner. Just I'm going to represent both parties. By the way, they won't say this, but this is what you say to that seller. By the way, if they put this together, their compensation, if it's a 6% commission, goes from $12,000 to $24,000, meaning they're going to represent you and another agent represents the buyer. They only get 12 grand. If they can represent you and the buyer, they get 24 grand. Let me ask you a question. When that happens, do you think their fiduciary is with you, is with the buyer, or is it with their back pocket, their pocketbook, their checkbook? More than likely, that seller's going to go, yeah, they're looking after their back pocket. Exactly. They're going to tell you what you want to hear as a seller. They're going to tell that buyer what they want to hear and somehow manipulate and control and put this together because they're going to double their pay. We don't do that. We don't permit that. Did you know dual agency is illegal in 8 states? Okay. That's how you present dual agency. You truly get them involved and engaged and ask them how that works. Okay. We've also got a team of specialists. Okay. As you're going through the list there, we've got a team of specialists. Again, we talked about that. We're not a one-man band. We're all specialists in our area so that we can maximize your sales price. Concierge department. We've got a team that's answering calls 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. As an agent doing everything, I can't do that. But if I have a team that's answering and managing that call well and answering questions well and setting appointments, I'm going to have a better chance at building more interest and more urgency and more traffic to your home because I have a team of people answering those calls. Okay. Number 5 is a predictive market analysis. We're going to spend time on. We did that where we went over that, but that's an important piece to tell us, hey, what's the data telling us? Where's this market going, and how can we get you top dollar? In the example, it shows of an appraisal care package, which is the next page, I think. But anyway, it talks about, hey, here's what happens with selling your home. Okay, we also not only sell for top dollar, but we make sure we get to a closing for top dollar. We're satisfaction communication guarantee. We put control of the contract in your hands. When you agree to hire us, you got to sign a document because the board makes us do that. And we put a timeline on there. Hey, you're going to list your house with us for 3 months, 6 months, whatever. But if we're not doing a great job, I'd hope you give us the right to correct it. But if we can't correct it and make it right, you have the right to go. You're done, and there's no questions asked, no fees. You have complete control of the contract. Okay, and then of course, finally, we got over 500 5-star reviews. 500 people that have said these people at BP Realty are the best. We are telling friends and family about them. They're amazing and they're great to work with. Okay. Now here's an example of what our marketing strategies can do for you. It's a home that was for sale for 150 days with another realtor. Here's the listing card. Here's the dates. If you look at it, okay, at the bottom, it was for sale 150 days. It came off the market on January 28. Did not sell. They started at $579.9, dropped it to $550. We believe it's important to not only tell you what we do, but we actually show you. Kind of like kindergarten, show and tell, right? Because showing is much more powerful than just telling. So here's a home for sale, 150 days, didn't sell, came off the market on January 28. On March, where is it? On March 25, so just shy of 2 months less, this seller agreed to hire us, BP Realty, and we suggested a higher sales price than the previous realtor based upon the data, based upon our marketing, based upon our strategies and what we do as a team brokerage, as a specialist brokerage. And we recommended he listed it. I mean, the data proved it, right? We didn't recommend it just from an opinion. We recommended it from this is what the data is telling us, okay? $599. And as you can see, we sold it in 6 days for $600,000 cash. So to say that seller was excited is an understatement. We just put an extra 50 grand in his pocket, and he was super excited. So just a way to show and tell what we do. Backing up to the appraisal care package, what we do. So when we represent a seller, we sell it for top dollar. The buyer gets inspections done. Once the inspections are done and cleared, the buyer's agent will let the mortgage company know, and hey, you can order the appraisal. Okay, and the appraisal can be ordered when they call. The appraisal is ordered by calling the listing agent, saying, hey, I've been ordered to appraisal. Can I come do it on this date and this time? Then you know who's coming, when they're coming. Okay, so then we can present them with, hey, here's the data that proves the $600,000 sales price or whatever the price is. Here's the extras in the home. Here's how many offers we had competing on this house. Here's this, here's that, whatever you can do to help justify. And because we do these appraisal care packages for our sellers, Mr. Seller, Mrs. Seller, we've all but just about eliminated any appraisal issues. Every so often we'll get one in a blue moon and we work through it. But this is all but eliminated the appraisal issues. Okay. And then you can go through and show them. Here's an example. Okay. We had a house for sale back in 2018. Sold it for $345,000. We met the guy with the appraisal care package at the house. Okay. And as you can see, the house appraised for $345,000 less. When that happened, we actually called the listing or the buyer's agent and said, "Hey, can you send me a copy of that appraisal? I'd love to take a look at it." And what we found was that appraiser decided to take all of the data, the comparables we used, and not use them. He decided to come up with his own and tell us that, "Oh no, you're wrong. These are the comps you needed to use. It's worth 300." And so once we got the appraisal back, understood what we're up against, we called the buyer's agent and said, "Hey, look, your buyer's not getting a fair shake here. There's an issue with your lender and your appraisal. Your only option is to switch lenders and do this again, because you're not getting a fair shake. Your home will appraise. Remember, an appraisal is just someone's opinion based upon what data they're using and pulling." Okay, so the buyer wanted the house. We worked hard on behalf of our seller. They agreed. I think we actually even agreed to pay the $400 for the extra appraisal, so it didn't cost them any more money. And anyway, long story short, 2 weeks later, 16 days later, whatever it was, second appraisal was done. Here's a copy of it on the same home. 16 days later, April 27. And as you can see, the home appraised for $48,000 more than the previous guy 2 weeks ahead of that. So it just goes to show you, we at VP as a team of specialists are always working hard for you to get you top dollar. Not only sell it for top dollar, but also make sure it appraises for top dollar. Hey, some clients, next page is sell now, move later. Some clients need to sell their home and get their money out of the house so that they're prepared and can buy. I mean, many people can't buy until they sell. And so this is the perfect program for them. Is let's get your home sold, get cash in hand, and then negotiate. How much time do you need, do you think? Do we need an extra 60 days, 90 days, 120 days? What do we need for possession? That you're not homeless, you can stay there, you've got your cash in hand, now let's go find your perfect house. And so it's a great way to protect them, take care of them, and that kind of talks through how we find them their dream home as far as door knocking, mailing, text, that type of thing. So, okay. Next is maximizing your home. So we have a team of people. We have a stager. We work with a company that does a great job. We pay for their services. They come in, make staging recommendations. You know what, guys, we get it. Selling your home is like making it Parade of Homes ready, balanced with, I still live here. I have 2 dogs. I have 4 kids. I have, whatever the situation is. So we're going to make recommendations that will help you maximize your home, and you just do the best you can with it. And see what we can do to make it look the best we can do, and prepare it for sale. Okay. Here's some general things as far as cleaning or organization to help you prepare the house for it. Perfect. Next, we have a menu of options. We love giving you options. It's important that you can make choices and have options. And so we have a basic, standard, and premium menu of options for what you're looking for to sell your home. Okay. So the basic 6% commission is typically what's offered in that, and I'll go through that in a minute, is typically what your one-man band, what your typical realtor does, okay? They will have you sign documents, and they'll put it on the MLS, okay? Meaning that's about it for their marketing, and they hope and pray for the best. That's actually what the previous guy did on the example here. He just put it on the MLS and didn't sell 150 days later, okay? They'll put a key box out. They'll put signs out. They'll take some professional photos. They might give you weekly updates. I don't know what's going on, but anyway, so they might give you weekly updates, might give you a micro overview, property evaluation, pricing strategy, that type of thing, but pretty basic, okay? If you want to maximize and make sure you're getting top dollar, okay, which is we're gonna talk about that here in a minute. You're probably going to want to look at the basic plus or the standard, which is 7%. Some people go to premium, but I don't think it's necessary to get you the price you need. But with a standard 7% menu of options, you get what we feel is what you need to get the best price. So you get the coming soon campaign. You get the artificial intelligence ads. You get open houses from us, staging consultations, social media targeted ads. You get a lot more in your photos, HDR, high definition, drone, floor plan. You get a property flyer with a QR code. We leverage our database, showing time, appraisal care package, our website, concierge teams takes the calls, weekly updates, just everything we talked about that really maximizes the price. If you do want the premium, we're happy to go there. That does even more things like a Matterport video. We pay for a home warranty for you. We syndicate the listing, contact us, property flyer, and guaranteed offer program. So most people go with the 7% because it's the best bang for the buck. And it helps you for sure get the highest price, but we can talk about that when we move forward. Okay. And then, of course, we've got over 565-star reviews of, again, people telling you, hey, these people are great. They're doing a great job. And I'm publicly sharing what a great job they did for me and my family in serving us. Okay. Seller book. Next is your net sheet. Next, you're going to present the net sheet to them. Hey, so based upon the data, based upon information, I haven't been here yet, right? This is a one-step listing presentation. But based upon my homework and based upon what I'm seeing, I've put together a net sheet at the number you said you would feel comfortable with, or that your gut said it was worth. Okay. So guys, you're preparing a net sheet based upon their number. Okay. And I did that just so I can come prepared to show you, here's what the expenses are in selling your home. Once we're done at the end, we can talk about, hey, what do we think? Is this number low? Is this number high? Where do we want to go in pricing the home to get you top dollar? Okay. So I am going to close up this here a minute because I didn't have one I printed off. And I'm going to go to the net sheet. So you should have filled this out ahead of time. You should have 2 copies, and you should sign them both so that they know, hey, this is what the numbers are and how it works. Let me go. Well, I'm doing it from memory. I can do it from memory. So let me go through the fees, make sure you understand them. So number 1 and number 2, Michigan transfer tax and revenue stamps. Governor Engler, when he was governor, he lowered property taxes. He changed school funding with Proposal A, and also implemented, when you sell a home in the state of Michigan, you pay $7.50 per thousand transfer tax and $1.10 per thousand revenue stamps to the state of Michigan. Everyone has to do that. That's what that number 1 or number 2 is. And guys, I'm giving you the language that is the best to use. So please learn everything that I'm sharing here today as far as best language to do that. So that's number 1, number 2. Number 3 is title insurance. The owner is responsible to provide a title insurance policy to the new buyer. Ensures them clear title. There's no mortgage company that's going to give them a mortgage without you doing that. So here is your owner's title insurance policy cost here in number 3. Number 4 is a mortgage payoff overnight fee. If you have a mortgage on the home, what happens is when we go to closing at the title company, the mortgage company and the buyer will bring in the funds to the closing. Once the title company gets the funds, they will take whatever's left for your mortgage payoff and overnight that to your bank, because every day is interest. The interest clock is ticking, so it's an overnight fee of $8, $9, $10. Okay. Number 5 is a broker admin or broker support fee. Every real estate company, Greenridge, Remax, 5-Star, you name it, they all, Coldwell Banker, Century 21, they all charge a transactional fee to sellers and buyers to help facilitate the closing and do a great job at servicing them. Some of them are as low as $295. Some of them are as high as, I've seen, $1,595. We're on the low end at $495. Number 6 or 7, I feel like I'm missing one, going off from memory, is a home warranty. So this is an optional thing for homes that have questionable items, meaning the roof is maybe on its last leg, or the furnace is, on its last leg, or windows or refrigerator or whatever. If you've got some things that are going to cause some fear of the buyer, it makes a lot of sense to market your home with a 1-year insurance plan, okay, a home warranty. It basically says to that buyer, once you close and buy the home, I've purchased a 1-year insurance plan that if anything goes wrong in that first year, you simply file a claim with the insurance company and the home warranty company will take care of it. They'll either fix it or replace it for you. And so it gives peace of mind to that buyer, and it helps them to just feel comfortable about what they're doing. So I would probably recommend that if you had, like, if your roof is on the last leg or that type of thing. So number 6 or 7 we forgot about is the title closing costs, or the title company's closing costs, $300. So what that is they charge buyer and seller each an amount of money, around $300, to facilitate the closing. Okay, what that means is they're going to file the homestead exemption out of your name and into their name. They're going to transfer the deed. They're going to file the paperwork with the county. They do all that kind of behind the scenes stuff that legally needs to get done, and that's what they charge for. 7 and 8. I don't know if I'm on the right numbers, but this is our commission. I put together the commission at 7%. Again, you can choose the 6. The 7 is the base, is the best value fee that's out there. You get the most for it. You're guaranteed to get the highest price because of the marketing and the money we spend and what we do. But we can talk about that, if you want to change that. But that's where I have figured that 7%. A couple more things. If there's a well and septic, sometimes buyers will ask the seller to pay for that. That can be in that $300 to $400 range. What depends on what the purchase agreement says when they come in. That may be a fee. Proration of property taxes. Just want to make you aware. Most buyers, when they buy a home, they ask you, the homeowner, to pay for the part of the year you've owned the property and property taxes, and they'll take care of the rest of the year. So say your total annual tax bill is $3,600, and we're going to close on your home at the end of June, halfway through the year. That means you're responsible for $1,800, and they're responsible for $1,800. It's the fairest way to divvy it up. So there might be a charge or a credit, depending on where we are in the year and where you are in paying the bills. Okay. And then final is your mortgage payoff, whatever's going to come off from that number. If you take your asking price minus the numbers, blah, 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 here's what your net is walking away with. Any questions on that? Okay. That's how you present a net sheet. It's the best way to present it. Now, let's talk about price. Well, let's talk about one other thing. If you get some pushback, even off from the 6% commission, hey, I'm talking to somebody, they're going to do it for 5 or 4 or 3 or $1,000, because there are some cheapies, not often. Your scripting dialogue looks like this. Yeah, we know those people are out there. What the data shows is those people are always selling the homes for less. Okay. So what we've experienced is you never net more money with the discount agent, because the discount agent isn't getting you the price we're getting. Like the discount agent is making the assumption they're going to sell your home for what we're going to sell your home for. And they're showing you on paper, hey, I'm saving you 1%, 2%, whatever it is. But that's making the assumption they're selling your house, right, for the same price. So let's think about this. A $400,000 house, 1% commission savings is $4,000. $4,000 is a lot of money, but it's not a lot of money when you're negotiating a price on a $400,000 house, right? Like offer comes in at $380 to the discount agent, right? You're counting on them to go to battle for you. They're not even going to battle and standing up for their value proposition and commission. They're already discounting that. What do you think they're going to do when it comes to your sales price? They're going to discount that, right? Their offer is going to come in at $380. What do you think? You're going to put your trust on an agent? That's a pretty good offer. I mean, maybe counter $390, maybe $385. I don't know, and you're leaving $10, $15,000 on the table. Obviously, that $4,000 didn't save any money. It cost you money. So just be cautious. The discount agent, from a data and statistics, always gets less money for your home than what the professional, than what the specialist, than what the expert marketing campaign plan that's there. Okay. All right. Next, then, after the net sheet, any other questions and answers? For me, great. Okay, let's talk about, now that we've looked at the data, Let's haul those sold comps out again. Let's haul the market. Here's what's available. Here's this. Here's this. Would you agree that the data is showing and proving that with our marketing strategies and what we're doing, that's kind of a low price, don't you think? Yeah, I would agree, right? Because you positioned it that way, right? What do you think the data is telling us? I mean, you said 350 or whatever the number. You said 300. I think three and a quarter, Howie, or I think 330, right? And then you can chime in. I might even consider 350, depending on the data where it's at, right? So you're collaboratively having a conversation wrapped around where do we price this? What's important? And how do we do a great job of that? So then you can take that 350, right? And you write on the net sheet next to the 300 price that they gave you, and then put a line all the way down and add 50 grand to that bottom line. You can say, hey, the fees increase a little bit, but basically if you had 50 grand, now you're netting 50 grand more. Here's your net number ballpark versus this, and you'll get them excited about it. And okay. Any other questions? Does that look good to you? Yes, it does. Great. Okay, one final question. When can we get started? When would you like to hire me? Would you like to hire me? Right? You got to ask for that order. No other questions? Great. Would you like to hire me? Great. Let's get started. Great. And you come prepared with the paperwork. Okay. That's a lot, guys. Hope you found this helpful and educational. Have a good day. See you.